Alrighty, well, we're talking about the future of Marvel, the perceived reality that there's no more MCU.
I don't think it's so much there is no more MCU as people are calling, like, Deadpool and Wolverine could spell the end of the MCU. But that remains to be seen.
Yes. I don't know. I'd like to hope so. I'd like to think so. I didn't see the second Black Panther movie. I'm glad I didn't, because it was probably god-awful. And Ironheart, I'm tired of race swapping characters, and it has to be a female too. And I heard it was dog shit, and then how they did Namor was also dog shit, and they couldn't even hook the Atlanteans into a segue with the Aztecs to make it also bring in Apocalypse, which they should have done, and here I am writing for them because they can't think their way out of a fucking paper bag. And it's just kind of ridiculous. I hope that this bullshit ends and that it just goes back to making good stories. But we also have to remember that in the 70s, Marvel Comics kind of did this kind of thing with the Lady Liberties and all that. And
oh no, there was the whole women's lib movement going on in the 70s, and it was reflected in the comics. Absolutely it was. Come on, we were introduced to Ms. Marvel.
Yeah, and Wonder Woman was
right after that term had been coined.
Yes, and Wonder Woman was on the cover of Ms. Magazine, which if they actually knew the history of Wonder Woman, would they actually beef her? Would they have put her on the cover? The creator of Wonder Woman.
And I know where you're going with it, and I don't think that matters so much, honestly. Sure that's where the characters got.
It only matters when it matters. It only matters when somebody's trying to make a point.
But
if you're a part of the chosen class to tell other people what to think and what to do, then it doesn't matter. Or it matters if you want to be how ugly men are, because look at him and da 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 da. Well, that's what he was. That's what he did. That's, Now you're being judgmental? You of all people?
No. Yeah. I'm just saying that...
No, not you, but the people that decide.
Right. Yeah, those people.
Yes.
But no, it's just that, she is not a symbol of that early beginnings that she had. And,
you mean
she's not associated with B&D, and
she isn't a symbol of aberrant sexual behavior?
Even though a lot of those early stories did depict a lot of that kind of stuff. She's always being tied up and tickled with feathers, which
is no judgment. Hey, I'm all for women's lib. They can be on top. Not the problem. Problem is the attitude. That feminism is about being superior, not equal.
But anyway, no, like I say, though, all that was reflected in the comics. That's where we got a She-Hulk. That's where we got a Ms. Marvel.
Yeah.
That's where we got quite a few.
And the what was it, the Women's Liberty or whatever the hell they were called? Because it reappeared in
Ladies of Liberty or whatever.
Yes. And then it showed up in a...
Oh, and I mean, they even...
Marvel comic in...
Yeah,
2006. No, 2000. No, it would have to be 2008 because that's when I was still buying comic books.
Right.
It was an Art Adams cover with the Red Hulk, and Art Adams can draw women. That's all I gotta say.
That being said, though, I mean, the Marvel Universe was significantly populated with female characters all the way back to day one.
Yeah.
I mean, and not all supers either, but female characters that were respectfully treated and written. They were not like objectified the way so many people want to believe they are, whatever. Just because the ones that are super are drawn with the proportions. Yes,
but see that objectification.
And I'm sorry. A super suit looks sexy on a woman. I'm sorry. It's just going to.
But the objectification...
Every bit as much as some of the super suits look pretty sexy on the dudes.
Wow.
I mean, really, if you
heard it here first, folks.
Anyway, the way they're drawn, they're broad, they're big, and the suits are skin tight, leave nothing to the imagination, and nobody complains about that.
Yeah. So with the V cut of the blah blah blah. Anyway. So these people that bitch about objectification of women look like a puddle of shit to begin with, and wish that they got a tenth of the interest that these drawings or anime figures or whatever else, anything that is objectified that they find problematic or awful or sexist or misogynist, it's because they couldn't hope to get a cunt hair of the adulation and fandom that these characters or fictional creatures get. So I'm just like, again, they lack perspective.
Right. And the thing is that the comics, they are progressive, like, in general, as far as...
Oh, and DC is way over the top.
And so you get, in the comic world, female characters in positions of authority and power that you would never see in the real world.
That was the one thing with the Age of Apocalypse story.
The government officials and, like,
Yeah.
what's her name? The gal that runs the Suicide Squad.
Yeah,
black
Waller.
female.
Yeah.
I mean, come on, man.
Really? Yeah.
So it's not, and then for them to say, well, it's all been underrepresented over the years, and okay, maybe they have a point in that. For the most part, there was
I don't think there's
Caucasian,
a point. I don't think they.
dominated
There we go.
superhero community or whatever.
Pick on Guilo, yeah,
But
I get it.
that's not to say that there were exclusively Caucasian. There's
Yeah.
always been
Well,
Black Panther from Africa, King of Africa.
Exactly. Like
you got.
No, hold on, wait. Remember, you were telling me the story about when Cyborg came out, how he was just this, darling of the media.
Yeah.
And George Perez and Marv Wolfman were
people
upset.
even called him the first black superhero.
Yeah, they were upset because they're like, no. What about
John
Black
Stewart?
Panther? And
what about T'Challa?
Yeah.
What about some of the I talk about other races or whatever, but I mean there was all of them, man. The whole world has been represented in the superhero.
Let's get this real clear.
And it's
Race.
the X-Men especially.
Yes, race. I'm tired of that term because through the Genome Project that Bubba Clinton did, the Human Genome Project, there is only one race. It's the human race.
No, and it's been confirmed.
So I'm tired of fucking hearing it.
Homo sapien first showed up on the continent of Africa, and we are all descendants from that.
So
the next time you seem to think you have a problem with people of African descent, look in your mirror, because all of us are people. Everyone on the planet is a person of African descent.
But not
For
South
real.
African descent. No.
No.
Well, George Carlin talks about this, and there's... Yeah. So, I'm just tired of hearing about it.
Mm-hmm.
Shut the fuck up.
Mm-hmm.
And if that's all you have to do is bitch and complain, go away.
Well, I've even seen like Morgan Freeman talk like that too, man.
Yeah.
Where he's like, you know what we need to do about it? I just quit talking about it so fucking much. Because all the talk about it keeps it, in the forefront of people's minds or whatever. And
Thank you, Oprah.
And it agitates and just just shut up about it, right? Because the majority of human beings, in my experience, could give a shit about race, this, that, or the other.
Yeah.
There's and I mean majority, like a good 75-80% of us, and that small minority that is just can't let go of it are the ones that we are all catering to, and it sucks.
Yeah. So, rough segue into X-Men 97.
No, I mean, because the mutant struggle does kind of reflect a lot of our social issues that we deal with. So, no, that's a good segue, because X-Men 97 was really good.
Yes, I was
very impressed.
I was quite surprised with it.
Yeah, me too.
I liked the show when it first came out, when the original cartoon came out, and I watched the whole thing with my nephew. It was
it was very popular.
What we did on Saturday
I remember
morning,
being impressed with it then,
and the toys and all that, and da. And then when I heard that it was going to come back, before I heard the creator was doing an OnlyFans or whatever the hell, or he's a gay, or who cares? don't give a shit. I just want good product. There, I'm a consumer. Oh, heaven forbid, I know, and I'm
Right.
white.
You just want
so
to be happy with what you've been
offered.
Yeah.
Who doesn't want to be happy with what they're offered?
Right.
Jesus Christ.
Right.
This isn't prison. Close, but it's not there yet.
I mean,
So my whole thing is like, so I didn't want
and
to
I
watch
went
it.
into it real skeptical too,
And I didn't want to watch it because
and not for those reasons of that controversy, but
yeah, I just didn't want to watch it because it has the Last Jedi effect of, oh, well, that was shit. Why did I waste 2 hours of my life on this?
right, that's 2 hours I'll never get back.
Right? Because, I mean, I've already seen Lord of the Rings enough, and that was one time each.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. I'll hate me. It's okay.
Yeah.
And so I just didn't want to have to sit through that and be like, what the, what the hell? What is this?
Right.
What is this garbage? What are they doing? And it's again, I don't want to ruin a memory that I liked because I got to hang out with my nephew watching cartoons and talk about cartoons.
It was actually really well done.
It was excellent.
The voice talent was
I was worried about the voice talent.
just as close to the original voices.
I didn't
as you could
notice-
get.
I didn't
There's
notice
some
a
of them
problem.
You didn't even
Yeah.
notice the difference, right? And the scripting and dialogue and everything was consistent with.
And even
With
it,
that-
and even it kind of shadowed the comic book with Magneto's awful outfit.
Yes, they lifted a whole lot out of the comics
Yeah.
and threw it into the season. They threw a whole lot into it.
Oh yeah, and
And for
the
10 episodes, it was really.
the point of that Morph's. What is it? What is the problem with Morph? That he's a gay
He is.
or he's androgynous.
He's a they them and
Of course he is. He's a puddle of mud.
right.
He can be whatever he wants. What's
Right.
the problem? And I know I'm labeling by saying
it's
he,
not-
but too bad.
Right. That is not even emphasized in the series anywhere
At all.
that anyone should ever should
he's-
take offense to or
'Cause the way
or find it
problem-
take any issue with at all.
Because the way they
One of
made
my
it,
favorite moments was when he showed up after what happened to Storm or whatever, and Wolverine was in the tree and he was all bummed all by himself, and
Yeah.
Wolf shows up with a 6-pack of beer and takes on Sabretooth's form to spar with him to make him feel better. I loved that moment.
now
It was
how do you
great.
read that as gay? I don't
No.
know how.
It wasn't at all.
Was
It-
Sabretooth wearing assless
It
chaps
was-
and I didn't notice?
it-
What?
No, it was very thoughtful of him.
Yes.
To go
Heaven
and
and see-
try to help
and-
cheer him up
and
like
that's
that.
the problem with
and it
these-
was an honest gesture.
Yeah, and that's the problem with these social rejects that they've allowed to be in this space and talk and be, the thinkers of the generation.
Right.
They don't actually have friends. Because that's what friends do.
But no, Morph was not portrayed with any kind of sexual
Like he was
sexuality
fucking,
or sexual
exactly.
preference.
Like
he was more asexual.
Yeah, like he was dancing around the fucking mansion like Pride Parade on Fire Island. What the fuck? No, it wasn't like that at all.
No, none of it.
Because I was like, what the fuck kind of fruit shit is this?
Yeah.
No,
No, it
nothing like
wasn't.
that.
It-
I was pleasantly surprised.
It's just that in the description at the very end
Hold on,
credits,
wait, I have to
his
clarify.
pronoun is they them.
I have to clarify. I was happy that the character was portrayed properly. I don't
Yeah.
care if you're a Fire Island fruit and you want to fucking dance around naked all day, waving your junk at kids. That's not my problem. Not my issue either. So just do you. But I'm glad that the character wasn't changed,
portrayed in
altered.
a way that wasn't
Yes.
cool. Right. It wasn't like that at all.
Yeah.
And
I find it disingenuous the people that complained about it, did they actually watch it? Because I get the sense that
you're
a lot
getting
of these,
most of that before the show even aired,
yeah,
and it was mostly because of the showrunner and his person, and that's personal.
yeah,
That's his business. I'm just going to say to his credit, whatever, that he did not carry any of that over into this series and self-insert any of that bullshit into it.
And
it was a straight depiction of the X-Men.
Yes.
And it was really
straight in the sense of
No,
character
I don't mean-
archetypes.
I don't mean
Yeah,
straight
yeah,
as
yeah.
like hetero. I mean,
No, but you have to specify because these people want to.
it was straight shooting.
Yes, and also to his credit, it felt like it was written in 1997.
Yes, it really did
Like
have
pick
that.
up right where
it had this. It had a very similar writing style. The dialogue was consistent. Some of it was a little cheesy, but
the only thing
so was the original cartoon.
The only thing I really took issue with, and it was just a small thing, is Jubilee. She's not.
Yeah,
not
but she
cup
was a
of
principal
Darjeeling.
in the original series,
I know.
and they did a good job in, and it even did like pick up where the original series left off.
Yes.
and just continued from there in a way that it all worked for me, man.
Oh, it was great. And the whole Sentinel thing, and
I mean,
yeah.
I'm sorry about what happened to the guy. That he had to be. I guess he had to be let go over the OnlyFans thing, and it was maybe a week before the show aired, and that's too bad for him, man, because he did a good job, and I'm just hoping that the production staff can do another season of it without him and keep all that quality up.
Yeah. So the thing the bigger issue that I have with everything is like, if you're gonna complain about it, at least watch it.
Yeah,
I know everybody wants to get those clicks ahead of time.
If you're gonna form any kind of an opinion about anything, you should, do that from an informed position rather than a position of ignorance. If you don't know firsthand, then where do you get off repeating this stuff and espousing these things? Point of reference.
And that's it, right?
So yeah, I guess on that happy note, we'll
Like, share, and subscribe.
right?